it's actually kind of funny that we are living in different days because as far as I understood, it's already morning for you in Australia, and it's quite an evening for me. So yeah, in a little different time zones.
Yeah, you're going to sleep as I wake up and start the day. It's the 23rd here and the 22nd for you, so yeah, we're in complete different time zones at the moment. But thank you for joining us on Subnet Summer for our AMA and we've got Sergey here today from SN32, ItsAI. I saw you guys recently did a Bitcast brief, which was cool because it gave a lot more exposure and it got your name out. But I actually wanted to, before we got into anything today, Const was he was on stage at Paris week or this week in Paris or last week, and he was talking about Bittensor overall. But I don't know if you've heard the clip that was being shared around on X, but it kind of sounded like he was soft shilling Subnet32 ItsAI in what he was speaking about Bittensor as a whole, what it could do. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yeah, I actually saw this video. I saw it because one of the guy just tagged us in the comment section, and I was like, "Hey man, yeah, he sounds like he's really talking about AI detection and that giving us as an example of subnets who are like repeatedly bit sorted, and it was really nice to hear that because I'd love to see so." In general, I think there is really great potential in the Bittensor, and there are many great subnets. And so I'm pretty sure we are not the only one who beat SOTA in terms of accuracy, in terms of like whatever efficiency. But yeah, it was actually quite pleasant for me to hear that from a big guy on a big conference.
Yeah. I know there's other subnets that have beat SOTA, like Ridges, but I think he was talking about AI detection specifically in that sentence. So that would be you guys. So tell us a little bit maybe about what is ItsAI and what you're building on Bittensor.
Yeah, so ItsAI is an AI detection platform. So we're focusing on text mostly. And the key task that we are solving is to be able to identify whether the text is AI generated by any models like ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever, or it was human written. And it's not an easy technical task from the technical perspective. But with this rapid growth of AI, of models and LLMs around us, it's becoming more and more necessary to be able to actually identify and do not get lost in all this AI noise, whether it is something authentic or whether it is something that was like generated. I can't hear you. Seems like you.
I put myself on mute just so I didn't make noise while you were speaking. But I wanted to understand how does your subnet figure out whether text is real or it's AI generated, or it's human written or AI generated?
Yeah. So here is when it comes to the beauty of Bittensor, we actually as a team do not have to solve this task by ourselves. We have to develop a right incentive mechanism that actually push and incentivize miners to work and to develop this solution. So in our case, we have like a community of miners who are competing with each other and trying to deliver the biggest, the most accurate detection possible. And on the validation side, we just continuously evaluate them. So in our case, it's actually quite easy. So we can generate a lot of synthetic data to actually evaluate miners and see how good they are at like detecting AI versus human samples. And so we are just pushing them towards the real goal of being accurate in terms of like generation, and also, of course, have some time limitations so that they have to do it fast enough. So I'm actually not really do not really know how exactly they solve this solution and what exact models they like have. But I'm really glad to see that they are working. They're proving this efficiency on benchmarks, many benchmarks, and beat outside competitors, outside of Bittensor competitors. So yeah.
Amazing. Do you have an example of how it would pick up on the difference between what's real and fake? So when you put it out to the miners, or maybe how the incentive works itself?
I think here, I think miners mostly train their own AI models to distinguish between this. So it's not like some keywords that you have that you can just trigger your solution and see, okay, if this a long dash, it should be 100% AI. To make it actually accurate, it should be something more elegant, more context dependent, because in some cases even people can use double dashes. Of course, now it's more about even if they were in the past, I think now it's like such a trigger of AI usage that they stopped. But anyway, so I think miners on their side actually train their own models, and it is hard to say what are the triggers and the certain patterns that they are looking for, because it's all under the huge model or ensemble of models that train to classify these texts.
Thank you for clarifying that. Amazing. So what are the metrics that you're currently using and benchmarks for ItsAI?
So in AI detection, especially AI text detection, I think in any AI detection, accuracy is like the key, one of the key metric, and that is the metric that comparing between different solutions and etc. So we use several benchmarks to measure how good are we in general comparing to other solutions. The biggest one of them is MGTT benchmark. It's like machine-generated data, machine-generated detection, text detection. So it is a combination of 15 different datasets from academia known benchmarks in this field. So like for AI detectors evaluation. And they just combined all this known data and scored the solutions, the detectors that some popular detectors for the accuracy. And ItsAI appears to be like the number one. So we are currently leading this leaderboard by accuracy and outperforming other detectors like GPT-0, originality, zero GPT in terms of how accurate we actually can detect it. And in addition to this, we also scored our solution on several other benchmarks. One of them is like RAID, also the big one, but a little outdated maybe already because it was in 2024, but anyway, good bench. So on it we have 98 and 5 or 98 and 3% accuracy in terms of detecting, which is like pretty high. Also, Also, we have some more domain-specific datasets that we've scored ourselves on. For example, specifically for Arabic evaluation, because we work across the Middle East. We have some exposure, we have a company there. And we also added a specific benchmarks related to this, some datasets on Arabic. And also we evaluated our model across the educational sphere, because actually the primary use case for AI text detection is education. Is when, for example, student decided he wants to use AI and maybe overuse it, and teachers actually do not always want to see this, because of course the world is changing, but anyways, there are many cases where you want to at least know that there is something was used and it's not a genuine work. So the education is a primary case, and that's why we also measured ourselves on specific student works and student essays. And on them we have like more than 99% accuracy, and specifically optimized on false positive rate. False positive rate is a metric which shows you how often do you misclassify works and texts that are actually human written. So you say that it is AI while it is actually human written. And it is quite an important metric for education, because each time you have like these false acquisitions, you have a student who came to you, who start asking, who start demanding and arguing with you. So in our case, it's less than 1%. It's like 0.8%, and that is pretty impressive.
Very impressive. You mentioned that you were dealing more with Arabic context. Is that because you have clients, or your system is focused on that area for a certain reason, like people that speak Arabic?
Yeah. So initially, and on most of these benchmarks, it is English language, English because it's the biggest, most popular, etc. Pretty easy. But we also added Arabic support in the system, because we have a company in UAE, in Dubai, and it was just easier for us to reach to the local clients. And we actually currently have 2 pilots with schools, which I will tell you more about a bit later. And they are all based in the UAE. So yeah, we actually have to support it, and it is one of the advantage when we come to them and say, okay, there are many other detectors who works with English, with Spanish, with whatever. Some of them may work with Arabic as well, but we are focusing like on 2 languages, English and Arabic, and also we are based here in Dubai. We are like kind of you, and that's just a selling point and the possibility to work with the locals.
Amazing. That makes sense. Well, that's a really cool kind of continuation from what you're doing. You've got from English to Arabic, and you're working with a company in UAE. So that's definitely something new for us to understand. So why does decentralized AI outperform traditional AI for detection tools? Or in this case, why are you beating all the benchmarks?
It's a good question. So I think the point here is not only about AI detection. It's in general about how you incentivize people. And I think in subnets, it's really important for subnet owners to make the incentive mechanism in a such way that it actually push you towards the real, maybe accuracy, maybe efficiency, depends on what you have in your own subnet. Because if you make miners to actually work in the right direction, not just overfitting under your not general validation or whatever, but actually push towards in the right direction, then it becomes a huge power, because money is like the number one motivation that humanity has developed. And I think at least what we see here in our case, because I'm not really sure about other subnets, but in our case, if you incentivize them with money, you have a great community. Actually, around Bittensor, there are so many smart people. Really, I'm even. I sometimes even like when for example, I was on some event back then, also in Dubai, some event around Bittensor, and the amount of people who like has at least like several years of technical background, worked in some high tech companies, it's pretty big here. And so when you make them work all on one task for a long period of time with enough pressure and incentivization from the like money and these emissions, man, it's it can move stones from my point of view.
Amazing. So you think that the incentive of earning money on Bittensor is just it outweighs being an employee in another company, or is it that Bittensor is absorbing a lot of intelligent people, so there's lots of eyes coming from different intelligent backgrounds? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's both, because from one side, of course, you have to have people who are actually capable of solving this hard task, and that's where I actually I'm not worried. I see like really a great amount of people with a great background. On the other side, comparing to casual company, so just imagine you're an ML engineer in, for example, GPT-0. It's one of our competitors. You're getting salary month by month. So your task, you are not paid by the like accuracy that you achieved. You are paid by the amount of hours that you spent on the work. And you can run some experiments. You can see some analytics built around this. You can maybe even go grab some coffee with your colleagues instead of working. While here, you are actually paid by the results that you can deliver. And that's competition, like momentum. That's the fact that you have to compete to earn. And if you actually be able to compete and to win this game, you are getting quite a big amount of emissions usually. So usually it's comparing to basic salaries, it's several times bigger. And people just work much harder here, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the incentive behind Bittensor as a whole, where you don't have to be an employee where you're getting paid per hour, and a lot of people that get paid per hour, they're just watching the time go away until they can get home for the day. But if you're incentivizing people where you go, hey, you can actually get paid pretty well if you figure this out, that's a pretty amazing incentive, and you can see it working across the entire ecosystem. So it makes sense. I think once you give people a reason to work and that there's something they can achieve on the end, and it's not just automatically given just for existing, it's a really strong reason. I'm going to read out a question from the community because we've got quite a few questions coming through. The first one was, can you walk us through how the decentralized detection system works? How do miners develop and submit their models? And what role do validators play in scoring and preventing gaming of the system? So you've touched on a bit of the first part of that, but maybe a bit about the relationship between miners and then validators and how they score that.
Yeah, sure. So from the technical side, as we all know, there is miners and the validators. For validators, they have to evaluate how good miners are. And for that reason, we have a big data sets diverse from the collection of human samples from internet, from some articles, from whatever. It was all collected before 2022. So we're 100% sure that there is no AI there. We take, and it's like a huge amount of text because it was all the data that a human, not all the data, but quite a big piece of data that a human created for the long period of time. So we take this data, we sample random text from this, and use it as a human part. So it's just random human samples that we are 100% sure that are human. And it is the one part of the validation. The second part of the validation is actually using AI models. There are many of them that we use to generate completions for human text. So we, not this one, but another samples of human text. We generate completions for them, and we use these generated parts as AI samples. So on the back of this, we also have plenty of augmentations so that it would be more robust, and we have like playing with characters, playing with synonyms, cutting text in different places. So adding some augmentations to make it more generous. And we also have some, so miners actually solving not the classification task. They're solving the harder one. It's the segmentation task. So we give them the text, and it can be both. It can be whether it's just fully AI generated, fully human written. It's pretty easy. But we also have around half of all the data that they are actually scoring is a mix of whether it's in the beginning human plus AI or it's AI plus human. And in that case, they have to build a robust segmentation model that not just understanding whether the text is in general generated or not, but also have to highlight what exact parts of the text seems to be AI generated. And then we can show this in our app to users because it's actually much deeper level of analysis. And yeah, so that's the validation side. On the miner side, they can run whatever they want and like decide how to make the solution working. Their only reason and their only thing that they're being evaluated for and incentivized for is accuracy on this continuous validation. So validator round by round generate samples for this validation, and miners actually solving them and competing with each other.
That's a complicated system, but it seems to be working well in terms of especially the validation side. Seems like the validators have to figure that out more so, whereas the miners can kind of have more free flow in terms of how they get to that result. Another question that's come through was, what makes your approach on MGTT, where you're number one, and RAID 98% accuracy benchmark superior to centralized tools like GPT-0 or originality.ai? What specific techniques or ensemble methods give you the edge?
I think here we can just come back to the why decentralized and incentive mechanism are actually working, because I do not have like a magic tools that I use. If you see the long dash, it's AI, and we're like getting 100% accuracy. It's just the way the system designed. And push miners towards like better solutions.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's what I've noticed with a lot of the successes on Bittensor is it's just the mechanism itself and the incentive behind getting those answers. So I think that answers that. How do you handle adversarial attacks such as paraphrasing, style transfer, or new LLMs like versions of Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek? And is the network designed to adapt in real time?
Yeah, so we are using different like augmentations, and one of them is the paraphrasing as well. So we have another model that help us to paraphrase the text, and we use synonyms also in like to change it and to make it harder. So because one of the one of the like let's say big part of the adversarial attacks is called humanizers, are actually just rewriting the text or just changing some specific words and synonyms. And we have implemented similar augmentations to reproduce this on the validation side, and so that miners who also like solve also train to towards this direction. Of course, there can be specific like humanizers who use some specific techniques that we do not know about, but we more like cover a general pattern of them, so that when miners like evaluating and getting higher scores on the validation, they also, as one of the component, have to optimize towards this like augmentations and making the solution more robust.
Thank you. How do you measure and maintain consistency across languages, domains, for example, academic, creative, writing code, and text length? That was a question from Sincerely V.
So in our case, we use in this data sets that we use, so it's called Pile, and it has many domains inside it. It's like code generation, some academic articles, some emails, news, whatever. So they have, it's also a collection of more than 20 different data sets of human samples. And that's how we cover multi-domain approach. For multi-LLMs, we use a pool of like 30 different language models to generate, and we update this pool so from time to time when the new models appears that beats current SOTA and etc. We upload them into the validation so that it stays up to date, and miners always have to solve like to be able to classify the models that are actually currently beating SOTA and great on the market. And I actually think it's also one of the advantage of the Bittensor that because you have like infinite evaluation and development, it's pretty easy for us to keep with the progress of LLMs, because on our side we just have to update the LLMs pool from time to time, and then miners already have to like work and find the solution for this.
Yeah, completely. Do you want to tell us about some real world use cases that you find this really applicable today, just so we can understand? What came to mind is education and journalism, things that we also want to know that it's come from a human.
Yeah, so there are several use cases. So most of them, it's all of them connected to text editing or writing. From what we saw, the biggest demand comes from the education. It's like the students or teachers who try to catch them and find the truth. The second is something like writers or managers. It's guys who works with the text a lot, and it already depends. If you are a journalist or writer, you do not want to make a reputation harmed by someone who detect you as AI and like point, okay, this guy, he's not writing authentically. Maybe you have to work on your content quality, and it can actually bring more reputational risks to them or to their publishers. And that's a use case number two. the other one is more like also kind of similar to this. It's some managers or SMMs who also write some content and want to stay natural. And for this reason, they have to, if they use some tools like GPT or Gemini before like submitting this solution or this text to whoever, maybe her boss, maybe the social media, just a couple of quick checks to make sure that it actually seems natural. And if not, maybe there is a space for better addition. I think the last use case for him here is SEO optimization, because from like a year or maybe even a couple of years already, Google started to penalize sites who have like a lot of their content are AI generated. And if you, for example, publish the article which is 100% AI, Google can just detect that it's not authentic, and it won't be ranked as well as other pages. So when it comes to the SEO optimization, to blog writing, you may want, so it's always a balance, because from one side you can create like 10 articles, 5 articles, comparing to one article if you like generally write it all by yourself. But on the other side, you getting like higher ranks and higher organic traffic on these pages. So yeah, mostly these use cases. And we, from these 3 or 4, we're mostly focusing on education, because it's a field where we see the biggest pain, clear pain that is like seizable. You can feel it, how teachers are struggling with all this AI generated works around them. And that is why we also have some, so in addition to just identifying or whatever, we also have some special plans for education institutions. We have some special integrations into their learning management systems, and have some focus like on this field.
Yeah, amazing. I definitely agree that education is an important one. I can't imagine what it would be like to be in high school right now, or even university, and you get a piece of homework and you can just go and get it, you know, or like you've got a piece that you've got to write and you can go on to your LLM and get it written for you in 5 minutes. That's a crazy world that we live in, and I can understand why it's important to actually see whether the students are actually doing the work and writing it themselves. Interesting about Google, I didn't know that, but I'm really glad that they are starting to prioritize, I guess, pieces that are written by humans. That's an important thing as we get further and further into AI and the use of AI. So yeah, thanks for clarifying that with Google. Do you want to tell us about what the market size is for AI detection?
Yeah, actually, so it depends on the, like as I said, on the use cases that you want to cover. From several, so in general, AI detection market, which actually also include not just the text detection, but also some video detection, image detection, and etc. I've recently saw some research from, I'm not sure how exactly was it called. Let me. Yeah, Grand View Research, and by their like analysis and predictions, the market size for AI detection in general, not just text detection, but in general, is so currently it's like $500 million, but it's gonna be 10x from now in like next 7 years. And I think that is another crazy part here, that we are not building something on the market that is like dying or just flattening. While we are building and becoming better and better and getting more market, we also have almost 20-25% growth each year of this market. And it's like the winds that pushing you in the back because you're growing and the market is growing. And in like next 7 or 8 years, it's gonna be like 5 billion market for this, which I think is pretty big enough to try to get some piece of it.
100%. And when they say that the market value of this will be 5 billion, are they talking about the fact that there'll be like $5 billion injected into people's spending to use these tools? Is that what it means? Like,
I think yes. So from how I understood the research, but yeah, it sounds the most reasonable answer. It's the amount of money spent on the AI detection tools in general. Text, video, image, all competitors, like if you grab them all together, how much money people would be giving to them. And I think that's what they mean.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've got a question from Daniel. I'm not sure if you have an answer to it, but he says some people still doubt AI detectors entirely. How do you respond, and what is one demo or stat you would like to show a skeptic to change their mind?
I think so actually, yeah, there is like some meaning that some people may have that AI detectors don't work, and it mostly came from the initial hype from them. So when ChatGPT just came out and this early stage, there were so after that, in a couple of months, there started appearing some detector tool, and they were working really poorly, so really poor. So they claimed a high accuracy to attract users and use it as a marketing advantage. But in the real world, when you started to testing them, they just struggling, and some of them may even have like 50% rate of choosing between two classes. So it just didn't work. From the time there are actually still many guys out there who are not capable of the quality AI detection. They just maybe claiming, maybe do not even claim, just have some AI detection website, but the accuracy is pretty low, and it's not much higher than just guessing and searching long dashes in the web in the text. So I think the answer to these people who are skeptical, the best thing that they can rely on is their own experience. So what I've done on the place of the guy who want to convince another guy that it's actually working is just, okay, go on the ItsAI.org and try it by yourself and see whether you are satisfied. Of course, it's not perfect. 98% is not 100% as well. But I'm pretty sure that people who have this meaning about the AI detection not working or whatever just used the wrong solutions for this.
I think that's a pretty good answer, and I think this far into building out the product, 98% is pretty reliable. I think if you got 98% with anything, that's a reliable stat. Knowing that there's a 2% variance in there, and I'm sure that will tighten up more and more with time. So I think that's a pretty good answer. So tell us, with the business side, what's the current stage that you guys are at with users that are using the product, or clients that are wanting to buy into the product? I think we just lost him there, but we will try get him back on. Just bear with me. I'm just going to see if he's available. Anyways, that's really great questions from the community coming in while we're waiting for him to come through. And if you have any other questions that you want to ask, feel free to drop them in, and I will ask them to him. But it's a really interesting subnet. I didn't realize that they were breaking all these benchmarks. And interestingly enough, the alpha price is quite low for such a successful subnet in terms of the accuracy that they have, the market pool for AI detection, but maybe it just comes down to visibility in the ecosystem regarding this, which is, I guess, why we have these teams on to speak.
So welcome. I hope I'm back.
That's all good.
Yeah,
just get your video going.
Yeah, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Perfect. Well, thank you for that. Tell us what current stage is your business on in terms of users that are using ItsAI or clients that are interested to join you guys?
Yeah. So as I said, we have a company established in UAE, in Dubai, and currently we have 2 enterprise clients that are piloting us. It's 2 schools. One is Jazz Dubai School. It is like a top 15 school in the Middle East, and it's a private school. And they are currently evaluating our solution inside of their school on the real student works. And the other pilot is also a private school, but already in Abu Dhabi. It's a Shining Star school, which also like tier 1 private school in the Abu Dhabi, and they also piloting our solution. And I think the pilot will be holding until the end of this academic year, and hope to see them becoming our clients in the next year. That's from the business side. Also, we have from B2B side. Also, we have B2C part. It's when we talk about users who just purchase the subscriptions in general on the website. And here we actually started growing pretty fast for the last half a year, because since November, we put a lot of focus on the organic traffic and to actually get our brand some awareness, get some users and visitors on the website. And currently I have 35,000 in the March had visitors on the website, and we keep growing with 50% rate. And I'm hoping that in the summer, somewhere in the beginning, I hope we'll hit 100,000 visitors. Yeah.
That's really good. I'm really surprised by those numbers. That's huge. Well done. Also, it's great that I can see you're tackling a market in, I think it was, you said Dubai, UAE, those areas. So that's a really interesting market you're going for in terms of education. And I guess once it catches on with one school or one university, it can keep spreading and the word can keep getting out. So yeah, those are really good numbers. I wanted to ask you then, and I'm sure, there's not a specific answer to this from your side, but why do you think the alpha price is as low as it is, and why do you think it should be higher?
I think the thing that we can see in the Bittensor, despite the fact that it is a great infrastructure and from technical side, really great ecosystem, there is still a lot of like attention that decides the actual value of the project. So if you go to some VC or whatever, you are being evaluated by your metrics, like the number of users, the number of like some metrics that you have on the benchmarks, and there are sitting 5 guys who are qualified enough to like actually understand what you are doing and how good are you and what is your potential. And then they give you some evaluation, give you some money or whatever. When it comes to Bittensor, and I actually think we are not the only one guys who like facing with this. It's not just about how good you are on the like foundations. It's more about the attention that you have to the subnet from the community. And that's actually why the Bitcast campaign that we launched recently actually helped us quite a lot, and we've had a great like it was temporary, but we gained new followers, we gained new like guys who knows about us and can somehow interact with us on our Twitter. So yeah, as for price, I think that I'm not sure. I'm not like God to give you answers to all the questions, but from my perspective, it's the difference between mostly driven by attention and not by some foundational investigation or whatever. Of course, you have to be solid, but even if you are solid, it doesn't mean that you like that your price is always really good, growing, and etc. I hope. I think that since time, so the consistency here is the key from my point of view. So we are growing in terms of the community, in terms of Twitter, so not just in terms of real world usage, but also inside the community. And that's here you have to post regularly, keep your like holders updated. That's what we do, and from time to time it just will appear more guys, more people who actually spend 10 minutes to dig a little deeper into your subnet and not just reading the one sentence about it. And the price will be continuously going and increasing.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that. I think building a community is really important. I think visibility is really important, but I guess that's also why you're here today to talk to us. Yeah. And we'll be sharing this on our YouTube channel afterwards and X channel, so that'll help with the reach as well. But I think in the end of the day, yeah, if you're consistent and you keep performing and you keep breaking benchmark,
there's no way to like not succeed.
Yeah, it's going to automatically come, or it's kind of like holding a beach ball underwater. Eventually, people are going to notice, the word's going to get out, and it's going to everyone's going to race.
That's actually what we already start to see. So, like this example with the conference in Paris, where we got some mentioning. It is like pieces where you can start to see. Okay, yeah, we are becoming bigger. We are becoming more noticeable, and it's all positive sides for us. So we are just as a team, we are focusing. So for us, there's 2 key factors. Is just not to be deregistrated. It's like number 1 priority, because if you are not able to run miners, you are not able to run all the stuff. But while we are in the game, we are more focusing on the business side, because I'm pretty sure that with some delay, but the amount of work that you put into business, into like growing in terms of usage, users, and like becoming a great business. Of course, with some delay. Of course, it has to be also put some attention to there, but it will be it will be linked to the alpha price at some point. But just currently, I think we have some spread, and I think that in terms of like business and growth potential, we should be higher in terms of our price. But of course, it's my based opinion as a founder. But yeah, from my point of view, we just keep building. We are hitting new users, and hopefully we'll start receiving some enterprise money from the schools that we are currently piloting since the next academic year, and can have a bigger exposure, because with a couple references to the existing clients, it's much easier to go and say, okay, university, we're already working with a couple of schools. They already like evaluated us and showed that we actually are working. Let me know whether we can run some pilot with you as well. So yeah, that's my strategy here.
I think, yeah, well, I think if you guys just keep your head down, you keep working at it, it's only gonna catch on and catch up, and you'll have more moments where.
Yeah, but sometimes I try to make my head a little bit up, like on events like this, to go and be present, not just in terms of posts that we make on Twitter and updates, but also like visible and seizable to answer some questions and speak with guys like you. Thanks for having me here.
Absolute pleasure. It's been a really cool conversation with you today, and understanding much more about your subnet than I did prior. One last question I wanted to ask you. Tell us a little bit about the future for ItsAI, maybe a little about the roadmap for the subnet.
Yeah, so actually currently there is more. So for subnet, it has a pretty like simple. I think it has to stay up to date. It has to continue beating on the new models that are appearing other competitors, so that we as a business can use this solution and advantage to sell and grow. In terms of business, there are two different strategies. One is for B2C. For B2C, we actually just decide to continue scaling organic traffic, which we see is doing quite well. And we actually even recently launched a second website, which is specifically optimized for B2C users. It's simplified, no application where you have to go, no features like API or whatever that you do not need as just a teacher. And we are trying to combine this to get maximum from this like organic traffic, because we can see that it goes well. We can see that there is like 4 minutes average interaction with our website from the visitors, and it is quite good for search engines like Google, because they see that people use it. And yeah, so that's a strategy for B2C. For B2B, we, as I said, currently running pilots. We recently partnered with Lead Poet guys. They're focusing on giving businesses some high intent leads. And we already run a first batch campaign, and recently, but it was quite small, around 5 leads. We've recently received a second batch in like 15 leads, and gonna outreach them as well. And in general, our plan here is to get first traction in the enterprise world, like with the schools that we already have this traction. Maybe we will be able to upload, get some more on board in this year, but not sure about it. And since the next academic year, already start like hard expansion using these guys as a reference and as an example of clients who already use us.
And out of interest, are you getting those leads from Lead Poet within Bittensor, or are you going somewhere else for the leads at the moment? Yeah,
so Lead Poet is a subnet on the Bittensor, and we've partnered with them so that they give us, based on the description, based on the like what we think is can be an intent lead. In our case, they have some AI policy integrated on their website, but do not have some AI detection solution, or complaining about it on the web, on the social media, and use this as a trigger. And currently, it's more still in the stage of exploring. I haven't worked with them before. But the 5 leads that were there in the first batch were quite seem to be quite relevant, and I'd love to see how we can scale this outreach on the little bigger scale, because on those 5 we've sent the outreach campaign on emails, LinkedIn's, but it's more about numbers, and in that position we weren't able to have a call with any one of them, but I think it's just amount of tries that you make, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a lot. I worked in sales once upon a time, but they speak a lot about the funnel in terms of the more you get in, eventually you're going to get some output. Yeah. So I think hitting 5 is it's difficult to have a sure customer on the other side. But yeah, if you keep breaking the benchmarks, and you have moments where Constant's standing on stage and essentially just talking about your subnet, eventually it's going to click for clients. So yeah, but thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a really cool conversation. And yeah, I hope to see you more in our community, chat more, get involved, and we'll stay in touch. It's been a great conversation.
Yeah, me too. It was nice jumping on a call with you. Really glad that you organized all this. I think that's all. Have a great day. It's only starting for you.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, bye.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye.